Good morning. It is Tuesday at about, my watch, about 8:30, 8:20. I've been in the studio for about an hour already, and I think this is the first time that I have been on camera without having even washed my face or brushed my teeth. Usually I start my vlogs after I put myself together a little bit, yeah, we'll see how this all comes together. But last week on Twitter, I posted a little thread just kind of trying to be real about what it's like to be a parent and also be pursuing a full-time career as a freelance illustrator, or just like really in any arts, I think, in any creative field. But for me, yes, in freelance illustration. Anyway, I have been thinking about a lot of comments that you guys have left over the last year and a half or so since Penelope was born. Oh my gosh. And yeah, you all have been just like amazingly kind and thoughtful in your comments. And then pretty much every time I post any video, somebody will comment about like how amazing it is that I managed to get what I get done with having Penelope as well. And I appreciate that, and I understand the place that comes from, I think. But I also just want to be real with you guys about, like, I don't know what word to use besides like advantages. Some of the advantages and things that make my life easier, like childcare and having a partner who has a regular job that gives us health insurance. So what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say I want to be real about some of those aspects. Yeah, so that you get a fair picture, I guess, of what life is really like for me, both in terms of the challenges and in terms of the advantages. So yeah, I've done week in the life, day in the life videos before quite a bit, but I've usually been fairly polished, I guess, in what I've shown on camera, and I'd like to try to be a bit more authentic, and I feel like that is such a buzzword, so I don't want to just say authentic. But yeah, I just want to be more frank with you all this week, both about the things that are challenging and what my day really looks like from beginning to end, and then also the things that I view as advantages and that make it possible for me to work as a freelance illustrator. Yeah, so on that note, that's why I'm getting started like this, coming to you barefaced, because I'm going to try to capture some of that in this week of vlogs. Yeah, so it is, as I said, Tuesday morning, and Tuesday is usually the start of my week because if you saw that thread on Twitter, you'll know Tuesday is the day that I have about 5 or 6 hours of childcare with my dad. Eric is at work, so my dad is with Penelope right now, and usually I'll just come up to the studio and get a little bit of work done, like a couple of hours of work done. Like, I'm up here usually by 6:45 because he gets here really early, so I'll try to get a little work done and then put myself together. So that is what I'm gonna go do right now. All right, so I just spent about 15 minutes putting myself together. Before that, what I've been working on is just kind of wrapping my head around what I need to do this week. Last couple weeks, or really most of the summer, has just been really busy, busier than usual for me. And this week is the first week that I am having a little bit of a pause, which is great. I definitely have some stuff on my list, on my calendar, but I'm kind of in between. I've been working quite a bit on another bigger packaging project, and I've just finished up some stuff with them, and I think I will be doing some more stuff with them next week and in the coming weeks. But basically what I have this week, I have a private commission that I have to start on. Over the last few years, well, before I was freelance, I was full-time for a nonprofit, and I've still continued doing a little bit of design work for them over the years. And I'm kind of scaling that down, so I need to make them a little bit of a document that it's called the style guide, so that they know basically how to carry on their brand and stuff. So I have to do those two things, are kind of like big things that I need to make sure they get done this week. And then other self-initiated stuff, I've just published another Skillshare class, and I've already been filming and editing another one. So I need to finish editing class number 3. I want to start planning the next class, and we're getting close to September here, so I also need to start planning. In September, my Patreon, my $10 patrons are going to get their quarterly little goodie bag, so I have to start putting those together. I already know some of what's going to go in there, but I need to kind of get more serious about that. I have some new 5x7 prints that have just come in. I haven't carried those for a while just because, well, I can say why, but yeah, I just haven't carried them for a while. It just wasn't really worthwhile. I had to do a lot more. They sold for less, but I had to do more work to make them because I had to cut down the paper and everything. So I've actually just gone ahead and had them printed, which makes a difference. So I need to photograph some of those to get them up in my shop. If I have time, I'll start planning my fall newsletter. And what else is on here? Oh, of course, I have a few Etsy orders to prep and pack. Then the other two things, I would like to update RedBubble. I made a RedBubble shop, like, I don't know, years ago, and I never really pay attention to it. And I haven't, if you look on there, it's embarrassing because like I just uploaded a few illustrations, and then their algorithm just auto placed them into different merchandise, and it doesn't work very well at all. So I've been wanting to actually put a little bit of effort into that and update that. And then the last thing, and this is probably what I'm the most excited about, I've been talking about it on Insta stories. I've gone live a few times in the last couple weeks, so if you're not following me on Instagram, you definitely should, because that is the place where I live stream, if I'm going to live stream. Anyway, I am planning on doing Inktober this year, and I have pretty much every year for like the last 5 years, I've always been like, oh, I'm going to do Inktober, but I think of it on like September 28th or 29th, and then when October 1st rolls around, I'm like, I can't do this, I don't have anything planned, I'm never going to finish. So basically I have said I was going to do it for the past few years, and I never have, but it is still August, and I started thinking of this with like 6 weeks of lead time, so I have been planning what I want to do. I've got a few things on the floor here, and I've gone through several different ideas. Oh, wow, no, that's not gonna work. I've gone through several different ideas. My first idea was basically that, let me adjust this here so you're not looking directly at my bra. Anyway, my first idea was just that I need to limit the time, because as you guys know, my pieces typically take several hours. Like a short piece for me, like a short length of time to work on something, would be like 3 or 4 hours. and they can be easily over 10 hours and upwards of 20 if it's really large. So that wasn't going to work for a daily piece. So my first thought was like, oh, maybe I could do something in 15 minutes, but 15 minutes, I don't know if I'm quite ready for that challenge yet. So basically I told myself I wanted to have like a 30-minute limit. So then I started messing around with different approaches. I don't have them all around here, but I just did like a really quick, I did a couple of these. Is that focusing? Well, looks kind of focused. A couple of these with colored pencil that were just really quick 30-minute color studies. I posted some on Instagram, I think. I did a live stream of this one, also about 30 minutes. And this was mixed media. This was some Arteza pens and oil bar on top. That's what the white is. And then I did a couple of other ones as well, which I will share on Instagram at some point in the next couple weeks. But this piece right here, this is a white peach. This piece gave me the idea of like, well, what if I did fruits and vegetables all kind of constrained within a perfect circle? So yeah, so I did this, and then I did this one, which is a plum, and that one is a perfect circle. The peach isn't a perfect circle. It just gave me the idea for it. And then this is mostly the Arteza brush pens, also 30 minutes, and then some colored pencils layered on top. I was going to try to not use any colored pencils, but it's too hard for me. I can't escape them, but basically I think I'm going to do 31 fruits and vegetables that fit into the circle, fit into a perfect circle, and I'm going to use primarily the Arteza brush pens and some colored pencil on top if I feel like I need it. And I'm going to try to stick within the 30-minute time frame. So I know a lot of people, when they do Inktober, they just do one, like they have the rule for themselves that they do it that day and post it that day. And that's just not going to be realistic for me, because I mean, I could be really busy with client work then, and then everything would just get thrown off the rails. So I'm going to start making some of these ahead of time and then just save them and then share them during October, so one per day. So I think right now I'm going to get started on the sketch for the private commission, because I need to get that to the client by tomorrow. So I think I'll get started on that, and we'll go from there.
And he feels so helpless that he just gives up the ghost. But his ghost does something brilliant. It bunts. It's not a very good bunt, way too short, but with 2 strikes against it.
So right as I was about to start sketching, I'm going to do it on my iPad digitally. As soon as I was about to start, I realized that the Apple Pencil was totally out of battery. I had forgotten to plug it in yesterday. So that is charging right now, and I've just been taking photos of the new 5x7 prints. And now I'm just counting how many I have of each, because I'm going to list them, and I just want to make sure I have the right quantities and everything. And while I'm doing this, I thought I would mention, just so I don't forget later, that if you guys have questions, I mean really about whatever, but if you have specific questions about freelancing and parenting, or freelancing and art, or art and parenting, or whatever. If you have questions on this topic, just let me know in the comments, and I will, since I'm going to try to release these, I'm going to try to have like each day this week be its own vlog. I can't tell if I'm in focus, so now I am. I will try and hopefully be able to answer some questions that come up while the series is still being filmed. So yeah, let me know, and I will do my best to answer them. Oh, and I'll say this now too, because I know it will get asked. The prints I actually got done at Moo, or by Moo, with Moo, from Moo. They most of their, I mean, their print quality is just like amazing, but most of their postcards and other prints are not archival, but this is their highest end one. I forget what it's called. I think it might be Luxe or Heavy or something like that, but it's their highest end print, and the paper is like insane. It's so thick. It's thicker. The paper that I use to make my studio prints is also very thick. It's Moab. I think this is Mohawk, not Moab. And it's like really, really heavyweight. So they're very beautiful. I think right now I'm going back and forth. I want to upgrade. I'd like to upgrade my printer at some point soon, but I'm trying to decide whether I actually want to do that or whether I just want to like have somebody else make the prints. I definitely want to still ship them myself because I like being able to sign them and I like having little notes and all of that in the packaging, but I'm not sure whether I'm going to keep printing them myself, whether it will be more worthwhile to just have it done by a print shop or someplace like Moo. All right, so let's see if I did these ones, these, and these, and these. And I'm going to put all of these up in my shop on my website. I don't think I'm going to do them on Etsy because I have a limited quantity of these and it will be hard to track inventory, like if it's selling from 2 locations. So I think I'm just going to do these on my website. They're going to be $20. They'll be signed. So yeah, these I think I will go ahead and maybe try to put together those listings now. And maybe I'll go ahead and do the RedBubble cleanup now too, since I'm still waiting for my stuff to charge. So I'll be moving over to the nursery half of the studio. This chair was just a chair that we got when Penny was born for nursing. And I now really like to sit in it when I do my work on the computer because it rocks. And I like rocking chairs and it's really comfortable. So I will sit over here while I do that. All right, so I have just finished updating my RedBubble and I'm switching it up so that everything that's on here is all of my patterns, all the patterns that I've made for my illustrations. And I still have more to add, but it takes time to do, and I didn't even do all of the updating that I wanted. I wanted to update like the about page and make a cover image and all of that, which I have not done yet, but I'm going to show you guys. So yeah, before I think I had one pattern on here, but now everything that's on RedBubble is a pattern. So I did the strawberries and I put them on clothing, guys. I don't know how I feel about this, but there they are. They're on dresses and leggings and tank tops. And then there's, of course, iPhone cases and mugs, tote bags, and I did a few different styles too. So avocados. Yeah, and I should do more of these, and I should be better about mentioning RedBubble in addition to like my shop and Etsy and stuff. But basically the reason I'm doing this is that I have had more requests to make like merchandise and phone cases and stuff, and I've had a few things on here for a while, but as I said, they were things I had just like thrown up there and they didn't look good at all. So I was never, well, I didn't like how they looked. There were a few that were okay, but there were lots that had awkward croppings. And yes, so I was reluctant to ever like mention it or promo it or feature it in any way, but I want to just have a few things up here that I'm really happy with and that I think work well in those applications. So I still want to add some more, also just because I enjoy making patterns. And then being a small shop, doing the production for merchandise for like cases and scarves, and I've had a number of people request dish towels, and I'd really like to do dish towels as well. RedBubble, I don't think they offer those. They have scarves and stuff. But anyway, this is a good place to start for me, where I don't have to. I looked into doing drop shipping, into like figuring out a manufacturer, and then having that linked up to my Etsy, into my shop, my online shop. But it that's just too much for me right now. So yeah, this is a good place to start for me. If you have wanted a phone case, you can check it out. I will leave the link below in the description. Yes, so I spent longer doing this than I wanted to, but I'm going to transition now and try to get that sketch done. It's about 10 past 11, and my dad is going to leave here a little bit after 12, so I'm going to see what I can get done for the sketch, and then we'll all pack up and move down for lunch. All right, so it's about 20 to 11 now, and I am just getting kind of packed up and ready to leave the studio because, as I showed earlier, and you will know if you watch my channel, this is mostly studio, but it is also part nursery. So Penelope will take a nap in here. Some days, if I am really under the gun with a painting deadline, I will put her down in a pack and play in our bedroom, but she never sleeps as well in there or as long, so I prefer to put her down here if I can and then just do other stuff downstairs. So today I'll be bringing my computer down, and I'm also going to bring I would bring these Arteza pens, my iPad, and then I hadn't mentioned these yet, but I was going to show them to you guys. I got some new colored pencils that I want to try out. These are, I think Rembrandt is the brand name and Lyra is the range. They're oil-based colored pencils. So I've heard of these, but I've never tried them myself. And I just found a piece of Bristol paper that I had at the bottom of my paper drawer. I was also taking stock of what I need to order for paper. So I found this and thought I would just mess around on there with some colored pencils. Maybe these, we'll see. My iPad for reference photos, iPad stand, and then needed eraser and pencil. I finished that sketch, so I'm going to let it sit for a little bit, just see how I feel about it. And then really quick before I run downstairs, I'm going to shoot off a couple of client emails. Even though today is like the official start to my week, I did have some client correspondence yesterday, just trying to get clear on when some invoices are going to be paid. So again, being very real, I am spending part of my week chasing down overdue invoices. So that's just kind of a fact of life. So yes, I will follow up on a couple of those emails, and then I will head downstairs and get lunch. Hi. So it's a little bit after 12. I have just taken over with Penelope. My dad left. We're gonna grab some lunch. I guess she already ate a bunch of leftover pizza, so she may not eat that much. You like pizza, right? Pizza? You say pizza?
Pizza.
Ah, pizza. Okay, we'll see about that. Yeah, so she already ate a bit, but I'm gonna get some food. And then she usually goes down for her nap around 12:45 or 1. So about 30 minutes from now, I'll probably head upstairs and start putting her down. Can you say hi? Can you say hi? Do you want to eat any more, or are you full? You want more berries? I'm getting them. I'm getting them. All right, so I am having a very glamorous leftover pasta with chickpeas and seitan and spinach. And Penny is having avocado. What are you having? Avocado with, what's on your avocado? What's on your avocado? Avocado and what? Salt, yeah. She likes salt on her avocado, and then some blueberries. And she already had some pizza earlier with my dad, so after she's done with this, that'll be a pretty good lunch. I probably will also get something else, like maybe some toast and hummus or something, when I'm done. Hi, baby.
baby.
All right, so we're done with lunch. We're sitting on the couch, just hanging out, playing for a few minutes. I haven't really seen her all morning, so I pretty much like right after I got up, I went right into the studio. So I just have a few minutes to hang out and have lunch, and then play a little bit together before she goes down for her nap. And she'll hopefully sleep from like 1 to 3. And then at 3, when she gets up, we'll get ready and go to the gym. So yeah, the day goes pretty quickly on Tuesdays. So this is one of the few minutes that we have to be able to just kind of chill and yeah, hang out. So we've got her pile of toys here on the couch, and she's eating a slice of apple. We're sharing the apple together, and then we'll head up and I'll put her down for her nap. So yeah.
Mommy.
Don't touch it. Don't touch it. No touching. No touching. No touching. All right, so I just put Penelope down, and I would kind of like to actually clean up the place since it's a bit messy. But at this point, I feel like I don't want to take the time to do that. That's usually what happens most days. I don't end up cleaning things up until, well, sometimes Eric actually doesn't do it. Doesn't get done until Eric does it when he comes home from work. But yeah, it's hard to justify spending time doing things like cleaning up when I just have like a pretty limited window to get work done. So typically on during nap times, I wouldn't be as likely to work on a client project, just because I don't feel like it's ever as focused for me. I'm always kind of trying to be ready for her to wake up any second, even though usually she'll go for about 2 hours. But yeah, usually I will just do odds and ends stuff on the computer, whether it's editing or editing photos or client emails, whatever, or sometimes I'll work on a portfolio piece or something more experimental. But I only do client work in this window if I'm like really under the gun to get something done. And even then, like if I have a week where I have more client work, we would just probably get more childcare. We usually just get more babysitters for like the afternoon after Penelope gets up from her nap. So but this week, as I mentioned, it's kind of a bit of a lull, and I only have a couple of client projects. Yeah, there's nobody else coming this afternoon. I'm going to work for a couple of hours, and then Penelope and I will go to the gym. Then I'll come back, make dinner. Anyway, you'll see all that when it happens. For now, I'm going to make some coffee. Got my coffee with soy creamer and the sad remnants of my vegan protein banana bread, which was really good, and it's almost gone now. Yeah, so I'm gonna have this and do some work. Alright, so my camera stopped recording there, but this was my last little experiment here that I didn't get recorded, and this was just Arteza brush pens dipped in water, some of them dipped in water. These two are both Arteza brush pens as well, but without being dipped in water, and obviously a very different color palette. And then these two are the colored pencil just directly onto the Bristol. So yeah, here I was just kind of testing out the colored pencils because I hadn't used them before. And here I was checking to see if I would be able to use Bristol for some of my Inktober projects. And based on this last one right here, I actually really like some of the nuances and subtleties there. So it didn't get it too wet. As you can see, it didn't even come through the back. We'll have to see how it dries and then whether I'm able to layer stuff on top of it. But I think it's looking promising that I may be able to use some of the Bristol for that. So yeah, I'm gonna move on to something else now. All right, it's 3 o'clock and baby girl is up, so I'm headed up to get her out of the studio. Did you have a nice nap? Did you have a nice nap? You want to see the baby? Baby. Here's the baby. Let's turn off your sound machine.
Baby. Color.
Yeah, what color? I tried to get her these, which are the washable kid crayons, and she doesn't want them. She only wants the full set of colored pencils. So I've been letting her use my the ones that our teaser sent me. Yeah, we're gonna color. At this point,
No more.
yeah, I know you don't want me to help you. At this point, coloring mostly just means she wants to mess around with the colored pencils. Although she did do this the other day. So I'll hang out with her doing this for like 10 or so minutes and then get dressed and head to the gym.
No, no, no.
I can't color? Yeah, you can color on that. Well, we are just heading out the door to the gym. I've got the bag all loaded up. It's about 3:35. I try to get there right at 4, which is when childcare starts. Yeah, it's tricky with working in illustration. I am basically just sedentary all day. Where are my shoes? Oh, this is life. Shoes are back up on the 3rd floor. Yeah, anyway, working where I just am sitting down pretty much all day. I don't get a lot of activity, so I try to get to the gym a few times a week if I can. It's definitely been a lot easier to do that in her 2nd year of life. Yeah, I gotta get my shoes. Whew, out of breath. She's almost 30 pounds now, so getting up the stairs is not as easy as it used to be. Anyway, yes, I try to get to the gym 3 times a week if I can, and I try to walk on the days that I am not at the gym, or even on the days that I am. I also still try to walk more than... Yeah, you've got a bow in your hair. You do. Yeah, just trying to stay... Yep, there's a baby. Trying to stay healthy. And, yeah, and Mama's there too. And de-stress. It helps me definitely to be... exercising helps me to be less stressed. So, yeah, we are gonna load up. Yeah, just a second. All right, so just left the gym. Penelope's in the back seat munching away on some snacks. Yep, I'll put the music on in a second. And we're gonna head home. I probably won't vlog anymore today because it's kind of like a rush on Tuesday nights. I'll get home. Eric will get home shortly after that. It'll be probably around like 5:30, and then I'll hop in the shower while he watches Penelope, and then I'll make dinner, and we'll try to get her down all by 7. So, yeah, and then after that, I will probably do some more work on the couch, probably some more editing of photos or shop stuff. I'll tell you guys tomorrow what I ended up doing. So that will probably be it for today's vlog, and I will be vlogging again tomorrow and for the next few days. So, all right, say bye-bye, Penelope. Say bye-bye. Well, she'll say it after I turn the camera off. Yeah, bye-bye.